Well, thank you everyone for being here. Can you please make sure your cell phones are turned to silent? If you need to use the restroom, there's one next to J. Jill. Nance, do you have any?
And J. Jill is giving 10% off on every Senior Tuesday, so you can leave here and go shopping at J. Jill. And Bristol Farms, who hosts this with us,
Thank you.
has 10% off Senior Tuesday. Every Tuesday, you can go over to Bristol Farms and you get 10% off. And we have to thank them. They are here every month to give us coffee and cookies, and we're just so thankful.
Yes, and Islands also, Islands is offering Senior Tuesday, but not just Tuesdays. They said, you know what, we'll do it every day. So if you go in there for lunch or dinner, say, can I get that senior discount? And they'll take care of you. So.
How do they define?
Yes.
I think they say okay.
Well, for me, yeah, but for my daughter, she's 55, does that count?
I think so. Sure.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't, I have an app I'll share with you.
Oh, okay.
You get 10% off that way too. It's all about the discount.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have 3 people here, and Krista Vorse in the middle helps Rachel and I often when we are ready to put a house up for sale. Krista goes over and she helps talk the people through that this will be okay, life will not end, and that you're going to have better on the other side than this is doom and gloom. She also helps them pack and organize and gives them reassurance that, yes, that should go to donation or that should go in the trash where they might want to hang on to it. So Krista is like our right hand. She not only helps with coaching, but she helps organize and pack people. And whenever we're getting ready to do a sale, we'll call her and say, hey, can you help us? And she's very available.
She also runs our downsizers group on the second Mondays of the month at 9 a.m. at our office next to Starbucks.
Do you all know about that group? We love that group.
Yeah, we love that group. I organized my sock drawer. I can't wait to share next week.
And then we have Liz here, and Liz is a financial advisor. And Liz just helped one of our clients, and we'll speak more into that. Krista will probably ask Liz a couple of questions about that, and Liz will tell you more about herself. And then we have Kady here, who works in life insurance. And so she can help you understand the long term and life insurance and why you might need it and how it helps. So we have 3 beautiful women here to give us important knowledge today.
Yes. So without further ado.
Thank
Are
you.
you guys going to do your little...
Oh, real estate. Oh. How dare us forget about real estate. I was telling Rachel that it's amazing. Right now, instead of house for sale, we get 1 million emails from real estate agents trying to tout what houses they have on the market. Right now, they're asking they have a buyer. There's no houses for sale. There's nothing. And they're like, do you know of something on the Mesa? Do you know of something over here? So if you're even thinking about it, sit down with us, talk to us, and we'll help you maybe decide is it a good time, not a good time. But people are looking for homes right now, and so if you have one.
I don't have one, but I was just wondering, do you think there's like corporations looking for houses? I heard that there's that issue.
Well, there is that issue, and I guess the president is trying to stop that issue, and I don't know where that's going.
I just wondered.
But these are people that
individuals
are needing homes. And so I've never seen a long list of emails that I'm getting about people wanting,
With the low inventory.
people wanting to buy a house and there's nothing for sale. So if you know, or even a neighbor, maybe you don't want to move, but you know your neighbor's fallen or has some issues, tell us and we can meet with them and try to help them. So,
Okay.
okay? Thank you.
Okay, good. Well, good.
Okay.
Hi, Anthony. So
This is a very sacred time of our lives in our senior years. And it's a different way of how we take care of ourselves. And working with Nancy and Rachel has been extremely meaningful to me. And this is all life-changing information, like where you end up living, but what's really available to you. And my work is very much about bringing data to the surface so we can make better decisions. And I get kind of emotional with this whole thing with Liz because of what happened with a client just recently that was in a situation where she did not know that there were other options for her in her living situation because of misunderstanding what was available for her financially. And Nancy and Rachel came through immediately with Nancy. Rachel was like, oh, she could live here. And Rachel was like, you need to call Liz and see what's available. And that is where you stepped in and changed her life. Really changed her life. And it's so, let's celebrate that. Yeah.
Oh, well, she's lovely. It was lovely working with her and Nancy and Rachel and Krista too. It was great. So I don't know if you want me to tell her story.
Yeah, let's tell the story and then you can go to your,
Sure, okay,
because
so.
this is an example that many people are in,
Yes.
in her situation.
Okay, and
Yeah.
she's okay with us telling her most of
Yeah,
the
you don't
time?
have to say the
Okay.
name, yeah.
Okay, so she's, she was a 88-year-old woman, 87, 88, who had lost her husband just about 3 years ago. Had an adult son who was a veteran but also was suffering from PTSD, so it was very difficult for him to live with her, and she didn't know what to do. She couldn't stay in her house with him, and it was also, she didn't know if she needed to sell the house because he was staying in the house and he wasn't leaving, so she needed, I think Nancy and Rachel said, well, you could move, but she wasn't quite sure where she could go. But you then found Wood Glen Hall, which she wasn't sure if she could afford it, but she came to visit us. Krista brought her to visit me, and we looked at all her financial situation, what kind of income she had, what kind of expenses she had. We went through everything and found, yes, she could afford it. That we could, and she was very, very, she really wanted to leave something for her son and for a nephew. So she was important to protect her assets as much as she could.
And don't you find so many people want to do that?
Yes, they do. And of course they do. You want to leave something for people that you love and care about. So we were able to say, yes, okay, if we can, with the income you have, we can give you so much every month and still protect your principal. And if something comes up, an unexpected emergency, we can take some of that money out, but hopefully we'll invest it so that it's going to grow and you can take money out but still keep your principal. So that worked out with her. She's very happy. She loves Wood Glen Hall.
Oh, yeah. They love her.
They love her. She's teaching a writing course there. I've seen her several times since, and she's happy as a clam. So.
Did you sell the house?
Yes, actually Nancy and Rachel sold the house for her. Yes, they did. Yeah, they did. And helped her move and pack up and went over. Yes.
My husband helped too.
And your husband helped too. That's right, exactly. 88. And she's healthy physically. She still writes, and as I say, teaching a poetry class, I think it is.
She's much healthier now that she moved.
And much happier. You can just
Isn't that
see it. Yes,
interesting?
yeah.
How
She's just
the health issues from stress, it just can take years off of your life.
Yeah.
And I do think what keeps people from moving was lack of knowledge of what's possible and the overwhelm.
Yeah.
And to know that we have people that will come and support you so that you can live your most beautiful life at the most, again, I say the most sacred time of your life. Yeah. So.
Most importantly, to have peace of mind.
Yeah.
No, it's really important. The fear and the stress is gone.
Crazy,
So.
The first day that Maggie was there, she came up and she said, coffee was ready when I woke up. I could smell it. And she walked down the hall and poured herself a cup of coffee. And then she said, I had a Denver omelet for breakfast.
Yeah.
And she was drinking Ensure every day. And so her life and her meals and everything just exploded. And she is the happiest person because before she was falling by herself.
Yeah.
She was having health issues, and now she's
She has friends. She has friends. She walks down the hall and she knows everybody by name. It's really nice.
And I just want to then thank everyone that's in this circle of helping people. There was, before I took action, I was like, I can't live with myself if I don't take action to help her, because I knew someone can fall and that many people should not live alone. And just to feel the love and community that has come around of everyone in service has been, really beautiful. So
that happened
Jeanette.
to my dad at 92, and he's going to be 101. Same thing.
So where is he? Is he on his? Oh, he's in Colorado.
I have a question as
Yes.
far as restriction in these homes like Woodland Hall. Health-wise, do you need to be quote unquote healthy of sound mind
Yeah, I think you can.
and
Yeah,
body
They
before
do.
they take you?
They do. That's a great question. They do. You have to kind of pass a test of like, are you healthy enough to be here? Is this the right place for you? Is really, because that's what they care about, And there's different people who have expertise in that. Rosa here with Nitsi, what is the right place for you to be? Based on, can you walk in, memory issues, like all sorts of things, so that you would thrive and fit into the community. Yeah.
So when your health declines, the lady will have to move to another facility.
No. Does anyone want to speak to that?
Well, you have to have your ability to walk in, and my
Yeah.
brother might be able to address this more. You have to have the ability to walk in, and depending on how you decline in health, will be depending on how long they can care for you.
Well, and Diane Blair's here from
Oh.
Alexander Gardens.
Yeah. Yes, you all know Diane. She's won many years. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of depends on, and Dana can speak to this too, it kind of depends on what the decline looks like, and each facility is different. So each facility, it's all about the fit.
Yeah, I think Woodland Hall does not have a health center per se, as some places, I believe, Monte Vista,
Right.
I think they
Yeah.
do. So that would make a difference for the person who has health issues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
I think
to
they do have a
choose.
nurse though, I think they have a nurse on
They do.
property, so, yeah.
They do have things that if you have, that you can go to the next level of care.
Yeah, and Lauren, and that's if you
Yeah.
know some of these questions, go ahead and answer.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're in the healthcare industry also.
You're absolutely right. It's different levels of care, and there's places such as like Maravilla where there's these different levels of care, where it's independent living, assisted living, and memory care. So it really depends on where you fall as far as the
Yeah.
as far as the needs.
Yeah, that's funny. That was funny.
Yeah, and you have expertise in helping people figure out where's a good fit for them.
Exactly.
Okay.
But
And-
again,
nice.
it would be temporary in some of these places if they start getting memory loss. So it'll be another move.
Exactly.
Whereas there's other places like Samarkand or whatever, they have continual care through all
Yeah.
the stages, so you don't have to move.
So there's a lot of decision, and it's really important that you have, that you do have resources for that and how that's managed. And do you want to kind of jump off from this point? And
Sure.
kind of talk about what you can do for clients?
Sure. So I work, again, I'm Liz, and I'm a certified financial planner, and I work with a wealth management firm in town called Avalan, and we're a small firm, and in addition to managing one's assets, we also put together financial plans to help with as one is moving into retirement, or if they need to fund a child or grandchild's education, or many times we don't actually write their estate plan, so we help put all the information together that they can then take to their legal counsel and that sort of thing. So, but it's very important, the key word here is a plan. So we help people with a financial plan no matter what stage in your life that you're at, whether you're retired or nearing retirement or whatever. So starting with that, we say, okay, well, what do you own and what do you owe? Those two big questions, and then you can calculate, okay, what is your net worth? And then we go down to the next stage. what kind of income do you have, and what is your spending? Where is your income coming from? Is it Social Security? Is it a pension? Is it from your distributions from your retirement plans? Is it rental income, investment income? And then what are your monthly or annual spending needs? And hopefully, when you subtract one from the other, it's a positive number. That's what we're looking for, and not a negative number. And then we go from there. So, and then we look at what your goals are. Now, is your goal staying in your home and perhaps having someone come into your home to help you, or selling your home, downsizing, and going into an assisted living or a retirement home, or just a smaller home that you can manage? Sometimes the larger homes are just hard to manage. And so we look at that financially. Can you afford that? And we always want to make sure that that you have enough basically to see you through the rest of your life. And hopefully, and then again, what are your goals in terms of leaving something for your loved ones and a legacy? So, and we invest. Every investment plan is so unique to your situation and your goals, but that's how we work with you. So
you're truly looking out for them.
Absolutely. Every person is an individual, and we do work with that.
And are you on an hourly fee?
No, we aren't. The way we work is, we do some hourly work if somebody wants to come in and just have a plan. But normally people come in and we manage their assets. And so our top fee is 1%, an annual 1% fee that's deducted from the assets that we manage, and that includes all the financial planning. And then it decreases as the assets increase. So.
And you don't do stocks?
Of course we do. Yeah, that's part of the whole investment. The investment management includes stocks, bonds, mutual funds, all sorts of investment products. Yeah. We have an investment team. We're a group. Our firm has about 16. We're about 10, 11 advisors, and then support staff. And we have an investment team that puts together the portfolios. And we have model portfolios. The older you get, you may have less stocks and more on the fixed income side. And the younger you are, you'd want more stocks, you want more growth. So those plans are also individual depending on where you are in your life. Yeah. And we work with you one-on-one. Yes.
Yeah. Do you want to take off from here and what you do? Because it's kind of tying into,
Sure. I would love to. I enjoy partnering with advisors and all of you here. I love realtors and doulas and healthcare providers. So I'm Kady, and I'm with New York Life Insurance Company, but I'm local to the Santa Barbara community. Love the Central Coast. And so part of what I do is I focus on how to preserve your assets through insurance. So I offer long-term care insurance. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. But who in this room is a business owner or has been? Raise your hand. Awesome. As a business owner in the state of California, your long-term care insurance is actually a tax deduction. So depending on your age bracket, you're able to write off that deduction as a medical premium, and it will help you to not blow through all of your assets that you want on the market or in a fixed product. We do a combination where you can combine it with life insurance so that in the case that you never needed to use your policy, it's there for you. I can give an example just so that it makes sense as far as the amounts. If you're a female, if you do $100,000 premium, which may be incredibly too high for you, it just depends on what you need, it means you have automatically $535,000 of long-term care coverage. So that's over five times the amount that you would need for one cost.
Can you say the amount again?
Yes, for a $100,000 premium, it's $535,839 to go towards your long-term care as a female. And females typically need about 3 years of care. Men typically only need about 2 years. Females live longer, so that's why we need a little bit more.
Would that be home health care or
So that can go for any For in-home care,
There's a certain
in-home.
dollar amount for home health, and then there's a certain dollar amount.
So the way this policy works is you don't actually have an elimination period. For traditional long-term care, you have a 90-day elimination period before you can use the funds.
Meaning you have to put your own money in for 90 days and then they
Yes.
know you're legit. Okay.
Yeah, but for this type of planning, you don't have an elimination period, and then you can pull from that fund and use it for your in-home care. Average cost of in-home care somebody would need is around $3,600 a month. For an assisted living facility, it's about $5,300 a month. And then if you decide you want to go to like a facility because you don't want the care in your home, then it's around $13,000 a month. Yes.
Like skilled nursing?
And like memory care.
Like memory care, any type of facility. If you don't own a home, or if you haven't decided that you want to purchase a home and have it in the home, that's about the average cost in this area on the Central Coast. So it's super valuable to have, especially if you can write it off. But even if you can't, then you're preserving your assets so that you don't blow through it, because writing a $10,000 check, even if you have it, is wonderful. But if you're thinking about the legacy that you want to leave and the assets that you can pass down to your children or a charity, then you have more left out of your liquid money. So for a male, the $100,000 premium, it provides $584,265 in long-term care, and it provides a life face value of $194,755. So essentially all it means is that you have more than enough long-term care coverage that you'll need. If for some reason you never need it, your beneficiary is going to get all of that back plus more. So if you pass, which we hope you don't, then your beneficiary is getting
What you paid in, or the?
more than what you paid in. So at the end of the day, it doesn't cost you anything. There's an upfront cost, but the return of premium goes back to your beneficiary.
So what is the monthly cost?
Depends
By
on age.
the majority of these people are quite elderly, if I may say so.
Right?
So what would
It's
the monthly
best to
cost?
do it before 80 years old. If you go the traditional route, it depends on your age. It's around $200 a month. The 11th year that you're a policy owner with us, our dividends kick in. So we will lower your premiums if you go the traditional route. So anyone, like I started mine, I'm 40, mine's going because in 10 years, my premiums are going to be lower, and by the time I need to use it, I'm not going to be paying very much money for it. But the one that combines the life insurance, where you have a surrender, if you don't want the policy anymore, you get your money back, return of premium, or your beneficiary gets a lump sum. And that price just varies by your age. So I don't have a specific number because each one of you would be different because you're a male or a female, but it's much more affordable than people think. And we do offer the lowest cost with New York Life in comparison to other companies that I've looked at. So,
Katie, is that
Yes.
the life insurance product with the
yes,
rider? Okay,
the life
that's-
insurance
that-
with
and
the
that's-
long-term care.
We've been looking at those actually in
So
plan.
for
This is
example,
good,
Yeah.
average, let's say you're 80 years old,
Sure.
just
What would it be both ways, just for the insurance and then with the life included? There's two different.
There's
things
two
you're
different
talking
ways.
about. Yeah.
Essentially, the way I work with somebody is the budget is important, the planning. What is in your budget? What is affordable to you? And then I show you how much coverage you can get with it. The set price for 80 years old, I would guess for $3,000 a month to start out would probably be around $700 based on my memory for showing it for someone else with a 3-year window of coverage. However, we can adjust that premium based on how many years you want to pay for it. So sorry if it's stressful talking about finances, but that's why I'm giving an example. A lump sum would pay for the amounts that I chose. So 50,000 of that, if you cut it in half, would just cut those numbers that I listed in half, if that makes sense.
So meaning like
Yeah.
find something in your budget
Yeah.
that works so that you could have something and it really, you can feel more rest assured. that
More
you've- yeah,
peaceful at night.
that you've
Yes.
got something to protect from the drainage.
Because
Okay.
because 70% of people actually end up using long-term care, and then 90% of people actually prefer to have it at home. It's where you're comfortable. So it's really valuable,
Yeah.
depending on your situation.
Can I ask how your program, your
Mm-hmm.
New York Life is different than other long-term health care? Like, because
Mm-hmm.
I know I've heard some people saying, well, you know, I put all this, I don't want to get it because so-and-so put all this money into it and they never used it, and yeah.
We are different because we're the only company that will give you your beneficiary more than what you paid for the
That's
policy.
huge.
And we're the only company that will lower your payment if you choose the one that's not combined with life insurance.
Interesting.
Because we have the highest dividends in the industry. So it's guaranteed. Yeah.
Yeah, that is nice.
How long have you been in business in California?
So in California, I've been in business 1 year. Prior to living here, I was in banking with Bank of America.
Not you personally, the
Yeah.
company.
Oh, the company, 180 years.
180 years in California?
So the headquarters are in,
No, I mean.
Oh,
you can
in
sell
California?
policies in California for over 100 years. I didn't even
Yeah.
know about it.
we're in all 50 states. We've been here, the main office is in, there's a lot in California, but the closest one to here is Westlake. I work out of Oxnard, but I live locally. So I work with individuals at your comfort level, where you're comfortable meeting, or you can an office or a Zoom call. It just depends on your level of comfort. But yes, we are here.
Kady,
Yeah.
I don't know if you know the answer to this. I guess my father-in-law took out long-term life insurance,
Sure.
never used it. What do? Do you get that money back?
If he chose a legacy rider on it, then you should be able to get that return of premium.
You just have to find out how he...
Yes, depending on how the person sold it or what the company standards were, because every company is a little bit different. But there are ways to ensure that if you don't use it, you don't lose it, because it's a lot of money to spend if you don't need it. But if you do need it, you are so happy that you have it.
I know, that has actually, where this happened to, and she got it back,
She got it back.
but you have to request it.
Yeah, I don't think my mother-in-law has.
Uh-oh.
But they had long-term, and I don't think they ever used it.
Okay.
That's another good point, why you really need people looking out for you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not just selling you an insurance plan, but really looking out for you, what
Yes.
your individual needs are, and going,
Yeah.
Because I think that's the biggest resistance of why get something that hopefully I won't need.
And that's why in California, if you're a sole proprietor, an LLC, a C Corp, it's a tax deduction. It's like $1,800 for people up to age 71.
I have long-term.
Yeah.
Not with another company. And
Sure.
it's the tax write-off every year.
Yes.
Okay, and I'm an individual, I'm not a business.
Great.
Oh.
As long as you itemize.
Just all my, yes.
Yeah, as long as you
What
itemize.
you're doing.
Yeah.
What did you just say about up to 71?
So I know the write-off, the premium write-off is about $1,800, between 50 and 71. For 31 to like 50, it's 900. Just depends on your age.
71, it's not deductible.
It is. I would have to check my notes. I have a, yeah.
I'm sorry, what's the
It
name
is.
of the company?
We're New York Life Insurance Company.
So, Kady, do you recommend, like my parents, if they went to do this, do you recommend the children sitting in and listening so they know which one to check, which is best for them?
Yes, whoever you're comfortable with, have them there with you or your family, because it's valuable to know what you're getting, full transparency, so that whoever is going to help facilitate the care between a provider, living, is there to help. As an agent, I have a fiduciary standard to like advocate for clients. So you want to choose somebody that you trust, and you can bring whomever you want to be a part of your appointment that you're comfortable knowing your personal information for sure.
Yeah, I just like I said, we don't know how he filled out the information.
Yes.
Because, you know, my parents' generation wouldn't tell us anything. It was all a secret.
Yeah.
And we didn't know how much money they had, we didn't know what they were doing.
Sure.
And it's so nice that our generation wants kids to know what's going on, so that it's not a secret.
Yeah.
I met with someone I was going to potentially work with in kind of the end of life, but the wife, she got prefrontal aphasia, the thing that Bruce Willis has, and their long-term care covered everything.
Wow.
And it was,
So you can choose. That's amazing, because you can, depending on the policy you get, you can choose who you want to bring the care in. Like, it's as simple as, I have a broken arm, I can't dress and feed, so I need somebody 2 hours a week to come make me a meal at home. Your long-term care covers that, and then you recover, and then you preserve it. You get well if you have to use it.
Is there anything you feel like we should know that most people don't know? I mean, this is huge because most people don't know this. But like if you were to go, the one thing I would want people to become aware of, I mean, I would think would be seeking out options, just getting the data to see if this is something, how it could fit into your budget, or like what's the biggest misconception?
The biggest misconception is that it's too expensive. It really is more affordable than a lot of people think. And while you're healthy and you don't have any debilitating diseases now, it's like wise to get approved for it, because once you're approved, then you're approved and you don't have to stress about anything else, which is why I started young. And everybody in this room still looks pretty young. So even though we're here for the senior seminar, it's like,
Kady, can I ask a question? So if somebody has a long-term care policy, can they, at some point, they wanted to upgrade something with better benefits, can they change?
So it depends on if they have a certain type of rider on the policy. And if you don't, you can actually have as many as you want. So if you decide, wow, I really need more coverage, all you have to do is say, I want to get X amount of more coverage, and then you can have an additional policy to preserve your assets. And so I do put the inflation protector on there because you want your policy to grow with the inflation. However, yes, if you think, man, I should have gotten more, just get another one.
And when you say get another one with your company, can you have two different companies?
Absolutely.
Okay. And they're not, I mean, they both will pay. It's not like if you go to one or the other one, only one has. Okay.
Sure.
Like with medical insurance.
Yeah, medical insurance.
That's a great, Corey, you are
Yeah.
really showing up with some great questions.
Diane? Yeah.
I'm curious, how does someone trigger a claim? And do you need a prescription from a doctor? So if I broke my wrist, does the doctors have to say she can't, do you have to have a prescription from the doctor or something in writing saying she can't feed herself and she can't?
Yeah, so if there's 2 of the 6 ADLs that you can't perform, a doctor would write a note for you saying this person needs X, Y, Z, then that would trigger you to be able to pull from your benefits. Absolutely.
And who would you go to with that note?
The insurance provider and
The person who wrote it, like you?
You could come to me. I would facilitate for you, like let me get our long-term care team to help coordinate, or whoever you're working with. If you're working with Nurse Corps or Rosa Care, if you're working with Diane or anyone who offers that, I'll connect.
Liz, if people have the biggest misconception about what you do that's maybe keeping people from using your services where it would really benefit them? What would you say that is?
Well, it's always the ongoing fee that people worry about, and they feel, if they feel they can independently manage their own resources, and that's fine, and a lot of people come to us and they feel, well, I don't have enough money to have someone look at, and we don't have a minimum. We look at everyone, as I say, even if we don't manage the assets, we will work at a plan for you, and that is either a set fee or an hourly basis. But we don't do much hourly work. I mean, we're not, I don't like that, because you don't know how many hours you put in and, that sort of thing. So we just, if somebody comes in and they just say, well, I just really I need a review of my finances. I need to know where I stand, where I'm going, how much can I spend, what can I afford, then we'll look at it and we'll say, okay, well, this is just a set fee to put this whole plan together for you.
But sometimes people aren't fully calculating.
Yes.
Not that I'm trying to be a salesperson.
Yeah,
but sometimes they aren't fully calculating that they're maybe being penny wise, pound foolish, and they don't realize that they may be leaving money on the table.
Yes.
And that's all I am so much about, is just look at data, just explore. Maybe this is something that would actually make you more money, having someone else manage. Right?
Sometimes,
and see how the money, the numbers fall out. Yeah.
One of the things that I think having a manager is that we not only try to give you peace of mind, but we also try to stop you from panicking. Where we've had financial crises in the past, and I know of people who in 2008, when the financial crises got so scared, they sold everything. Well, I've actually been in this business, I date myself, but 40 some odd years, yes, about 40 years. And I've seen many crises, and I've seen market crashes, and the longest, in my experience, since the late 80s, the first one was 1987, was in 2008. That lasted 17 months. And then the market was down 47%, and since then, it's been up 400%. Had you not gone back in, you have missed so much of an opportunity for growth. And all those years, interest rates were so low, so if you had savings accounts, you weren't earning anything on it, So you weren't getting any kind of a growth, and therefore you don't keep up with inflation, and your purchasing power is lessened. So there's a lot that we need there. Sorry.
If a person has a lot of credit card debt, can you help them make suggestions how to do that, take care of that?
Yes, absolutely, and we've worked with people with that. So, and that's the first thing we do is whatever you can, whatever resources you have, pay off that high interest credit card debt first. Credit card debt is never advisable. It's nice to be able to pay off a credit card. Sometimes debt is good, like mortgage debt is great. If you have debt on an appreciating asset, it's fantastic. You can write off the interest on those mortgage payments and so on, but credit card debt, and some of it is so high, it's just,
So when you calculate like 1%, which you said is pretty standard across the industry,
Pretty
is that
standard.
1% of what you start off with, or as it appreciates, it's 1%?
It keeps going 1%, so actually if you're making money, we're making money too. So it's 1% of all the assets, exactly. So it's annually, exactly. And then we deduct it from, let's say we're managing
And
200 or 300.
what happens if the stocks that are chosen or the assets lose money? Then there's no...
Well, if they lose money, that 1% is less for us too. So we're making less, but hopefully you won't. I mean, we try to position the portfolios where we're not losing. But sometimes, another time was during COVID. Market dropped a lot. 2022, if you recall, when the Federal Reserve raised interest rates, we went from pretty much 0 to 5%. That was huge. And that was one of those black swan events they call, everything went down, everything. The only thing that didn't go down was the price of oil, stocks, bonds, gold, silver, everything. But it came back. 2023, 2024 were stellar years, double-digit returns.
So do you have, what broker do you use, or you haven't?
So, no, that's a good question. So Avalan, we don't keep the money at Avalan. We're just the advisory group, but we work with Fidelity and Schwab.
Here
So
in
that's
town?
where it's,
I was going to ask.
well, they're
you.
internationally, yeah, so yeah.
Do you offer fixed products, or do you only do market-based?
Well, fixed in terms of bonds, you mean? I mean, that's fixed income, like we think fixed
Sure.
income is bonds. Yeah.
Fixed annuities, or
We do
Okay,
some
you do.
annuities. Yeah,
Okay.
we do some
we
annuities.
do as well.
Yeah,
So I
we
was
do,
just
exactly.
asking because I was wondering.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
perfect.
again, and I was telling Katie also, we're really a fee-only firm, but we do have two of our advisors who do have their insurance licenses, but we don't sell insurance. We work with people like Katie. So insurance planning is part of your financial plan, but we would go to an insurance provider and have her look at what is best suited for this particular situation.
And you have favorites or certain?
We have 3 or 4 that we work with, and
Okay.
there's some that are some that are specialize in life insurance or long-term care, and others specialize in property insurance. You know, if you want to manage your assets with your home, your car. We do a lot of life insurance and financial planning.
Mhm,
You know,
that's
so
good.
people buy life insurance really to protect their assets. You know, so right.
Yeah.
that.
Do you
Estate
work with
fees.
particular lawyers?
We do. We work with a lot of the lawyers in town, and so if people want a recommendation, we usually give them, yes, we usually give them 3, and then have them, because I think that, you know, yeah, we go and interview them, and I don't think lawyers charge for that initial meeting, hopefully. But, and see if you have a rapport with them, you know, because everybody, you might get along with one and not another, so we usually give 3 or 4 referrals and that, yeah.
So what would the difference be as opposed to working with Fidelity? You know, they charge 1% also. So by going through your firm, what would be the advantage?
So Fidelity doesn't charge us anything for the accounts. They don't charge commissions. They don't charge on any transactions. So the fee is just to Avalan, that 1% fee. And most of those brokerage firms are like that, especially on the institutional basis, because you can work with Fidelity on your own as a retail client. And
My question
Yeah,
is,
that's
what's
exactly.
the
What's the
difference
difference between working with
Oh.
Fidelity
between
versus
working
you?
with Fidelity
Yeah.
that way as opposed to Avalan?
Then you're self-managing your account. And I don't think that they would charge do they charge 1%?
It depends.
For
Management
managed,
fees.
oh, so managed. So that's a managed, yeah.
You're going to be managing it.
Yeah, exactly.
But do you get all their expertise the same
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
Fidelity managed account?
Yeah. Yeah.
How would you get that and then you're not
Well,
charging?
Fidelity has their own. It's 1%.
If you self-manage, there's no fee.
Exactly, that's
My
right, that's what I'm
question is,
saying.
what's the difference between
Yeah.
paying Fidelity versus paying your firm?
Well, you're paying us the 1% and not Fidelity.
Right.
So,
This is
yeah.
your opportunity to sell yourself, Liz.
Okay, so,
The full package
Yeah.
that
The full
you do
package.
in looking out for someone.
yes.
Why don't you talk about your classes, because I learned a lot in one of your classes, and I need to continue to go to them, but Liz has a class for seniors to learn about how to keep your money and where, you know, and it was really, it's mind-blowing when you think of it. Here's your Social Security, here's how much, and what do you have left? Do you have enough left?
You have enough. I have being a woman, obviously, it's really important for me that women are financially independent and know where their money is and what they have and what they can do with it. So I started these workshops at our office, primarily for women, but men are welcome too. And it's just basic finance. You know, we started basic. What is a stock? What is a bond? I mean, there's so many different stocks, and there's so many different instruments now in the financial services world. You can go online, you can read all this stuff, but it can be overwhelming. I mean, I find insurance overwhelming. That's why I like to work with somebody in insurance who can explain it to me and how it pertains to my personal situation. So we do it on a monthly basis, and I have a presentation, and we talk about all the different investment products and how they relate to financial planning and how they fit in to meet your goals. and your objectives. Yeah. But again, to get back to, so to work with, I mean, you would be hiring my expertise and the fact that I would look after you and I would know your full situation. The one downside with working in a managed account with Fidelity or Merrill Lynch or Schwab or any of those, and I used to work for some of the big ones too, they have managed accounts that are kind of cookie cutter accounts. You know, they'll have a let's say a 60-40 portfolio, as they call it, or a 70-30. So 60% in stocks and 40% in the fixed income side, which would be bonds. So if that is what they say is good for you, you're going to be in a 60-40 portfolio that a million other people have as well, and they're going to charge you 1% for that. Whereas with us, we put the portfolio, an individual portfolio together. We change it basically as your needs change. And then we work, you know, we're working on your financial plan, so we know when things change. You may have a new grandchild or move or downsize. And so we'll adjust the portfolio with that.
So it sounds like to me that your services is more tailored and more personalized.
Yes, absolutely.
One-on-one instead of like having
Yes,
a multitude of people.
yes. And sometimes with the big firms, when you're working like that, you don't always have the same person that you're working with, different people. So with us, you work with me, and that's who you're going to be working with on everything. So, and it's the same fee. So, yeah, as I'm selling myself.
No, this is good. This is good to sell yourself. So I'm just thinking about a client that just this week had their financial planners in Los Angeles. They live here. And they said, we haven't seen you in a while. Why don't you come up? And they came up and saw where they were going to move to, Val Verde. So, and she said, oh, give us 3 options of what the next state for their life. They're in their late 70s. There's some health issues. And they go, oh, yeah, Val Verde looks great. And then they went over to their home, and they went, oh, my gosh, no. The way you're living here, you're not going to fit in there. And so, and the woman was relieved, going, I'm gonna stay. But point I'm making is by having a financial planner, it is so much more personal to go, what different options, what kind of living options would be right for you. It is a whole different level of care. They don't go over to Wood Glen and see you, you know, like they did for Meg. You know, and I was also thinking about kind of even elder abuse. And how, like, I have a client that she's 9 years old. I mean, I'm in all of her financial stuff and her passwords. You know, I'm as honest as can be. But what if somebody wasn't? And having somebody else kind of going, what happened to that $20,000 that was
We
there?
do,
You know, it's another person looking for your
That would raise a red, if we just suddenly see, you know, people are taking a certain amount out of their accounts every month, and that's on a regular basis, and all of a sudden, it triples, you know, and then there's a little bit more. So we would question that. And we would always, when we work with people, we always want to have a trusted contact that we could call in case of, that we would say, you know, we're a little wary of what's going on. So we would definitely look out for that, because that's a lot of elder abuse.
And quite frankly, it's a little bit out of my, you know, expertise of some of this. There's some real resources here, and I'm going, wow, she could probably use a financial planner, you know. So it's something to consider for sure.
It's the personal approach, basically, what it is.
Yeah. What any other thoughts right now? Questions?
It was a great presentation. Thank you. I learned a lot.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks very much. Great questions.
On the table, you have the Japan. If anybody's interested, we're doing that this Friday over in our office over here. Stephen Jones, who did it when we had our seminar in January, he will be doing it in our office right around the corner. It's $20 per person, and all the money goes to Stephen. We do need an RSVP because we have room for about 20 people, and I think we're up to 17, so let us know. We will serve coffee and a little Japanese.
Oh, nice.
So, also, Rachel and I will be doing what's called, with Krista, called the Senior Avalanche. And
we want you to come.
Yeah, and that's going to be next, is it Tuesday? Monday.
Tuesday.
It's gonna be out at Westmont. Out in Toledo by.
So not Westmont, not Westmont College, Westmont,
Yeah.
It was called
Oh.
Mariposa Senior Living.
Okay.
out by
That
Elwood.
always throws me when I hear Westmont.
Yeah,
I'm
when
thinking,
you're going that
oh,
way.
Okay.
Way out by Elwood. I say that because I live out there.
What the senior avalanche is there's so many people that are gonna be hitting like 75 or 80 all at one time.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden something happens and they're gonna go, uh-oh, I need to do this. So one of the biggest things is to get on a waiting list. If you are in great health and you're thinking about going to San Marcan, it's a 5-year waiting list.
Yeah.
So you need to get on that waiting list now. And you don't need to go there now, but if you don't get on that waiting list, there's so many people we know that are on a long-term waiting and they're ready to go now and they can't. Because they decided when their health declined, it was time to sign up, and it was too late because it's about a 5-year. So that's what the Senior Avalanche is all about. Get into mindset about how to prepare for those things. It's gonna, I'm gonna be 70 in 1 year. And, I see things going on now, so I'm not ready for anything, but I'm gonna start thinking about that. So.
And the 2-bedroom units are even longer on the wait list.
And don't even think about Casa Dorinda, right, Dana? What is that, like 10 or 15 years to get it?
Valverde is like
It's 5.
5, I think.
Yeah, I thought it was longer.
I mean, that's back to that client that's going to stay in our home. Partly was because to have a 2-bedroom.
Yeah, it's not possible.
It's just,
And she's ready to move now, and it's 5 years, and so there's no place to go.
Out of town options.
There,
That's the only
yeah.
other way.
Yeah, Santa Barbara has limited, it just depends on what you need. Like, Maravilla they don't have skilled nursing, they don't have a hospital. So if you get to a point where they can't take care of you, then they will send you to skilled nursing. But they do allow nurses to come in, right? That's right. Lauren works with Nurse Corps, so, did you have no?
I just wanted to say that I was talking to a friend over the weekend, and I don't remember which facility she was talking about, but she has a friend who's been actively looking and getting on lists and stuff. And she said, I don't know if it was her or a friend of hers, whatever. Anyway, this can happen is that they tell you 5 years, and then a year or two pass, and then suddenly they're, let's say it's not one of these prime places here, but a couple of years pass, and then they call you up, and it's like, we have a spot for you.
Yeah, go now.
And it's now.
Yeah.
And, you've got like, what, a couple months maybe to like get your act together, which is kind of frightening.
Yeah, well, some of them will just put you back on the bottom of the list, and then they work up. I heard San Marcan will only call you twice now, and then they put you way on the bottom of the list. That's what I've heard. But, you need to check it out for sure. But like, I don't know, what is Alexander Gardens? Do you have openings right now?
Alexander Gardens is gorgeous.
We only have 24 beds, rooms, studio apartments, so they get filled really quickly, and we do call our waiting list, and it's like, you gotta go now.
Yeah.
So when it's now, then to you, is that?
It's a week or two.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, people put money down to hold it if you're not quite ready, but that's like $150 a day to take the room off the market. So we try to keep
It's a
people,
special place.
and we try to invite people that come to events and things like that, because when people are
When it's go time.
quickly.
If that would make a pitch for encouraging people to start downsizing today.
Yes.
And going through whatever process they can to start letting go, because
And start taking tours of places and see, because they're all have different personalities. So our place might not be a good match for someone, but so start looking into it now while you're healthy. So when you're in a crisis and emotional, you're not trying to go where I want to go.
And there's some places, I know like Vista Del Mar, where there is a buy-in fee, but you also have the option, let's say if you haven't sold your house and a place comes up, that you can pay a monthly fee while your house is being sold, is that right? So that gives you a little bit of leeway.
But you have a signed contract.
Okay.
you know, that your house is gonna go on the market,
Yeah.
because they don't wanna move you in and then have to move you out because you
Yeah,
never
yeah,
put
yeah,
it
yeah.
together.
And healthy is
Good
so the key word in that, because even if you have Medicare, which is amazing, and you use 100 days of your skilled nursing or something, you want that long-term care piece for the accelerated transition.
Yeah, that's so good. The other thing I want to pitch is that, like, our client was like, well, because you have so many moving parts, right? You don't know when one person's health might go. You don't know when the housing, the retirement community calls you when they're ready for you. And my client goes, could Nancy and Rachel find us a small one-story house that would be, you know, if we need to move, but we can't get into Marvia yet or something. And, you know, that's another option, is finding these, and there's these adorable, cute little houses, but you think about living, you know, differently.
Yeah.
You've downsized and,
Right.
yeah.
And then
That's a viable option, right?
Yeah, and what
Or in the
Krista and I
process.
were looking at was the garage, turning it into an ADU, so somebody a caretaker could be on the property. Because some of these houses are small, and you go, I don't want them living with me, but if they're right there on the property helping.
Yeah, so if you can't, like, if you're gonna downsize so much to be in a retirement community, you could maybe downsize to be in a one-story, and then with long-term care, you can bring somebody in. I mean, that's just like opening up my logo's the infinity loop. So it's like, what's possible?
Yes.
You know, it's like, let's look at all these different options, and all you do is, you know, meet with people and go, would that work? How would that work? How could I piece a beautiful life together? And, you know, that's an option too.
Yeah.
I have another question. For the facilities that don't have skilled nursing, and I don't know, like, even what kind of thing might require you to go to it, but let's say you only had to go, but you had to go for a few months, say 3 to 6 months. What happens to, I mean, I guess you could keep your place in the retirement home and go back, but then you don't know what's gonna happen, and so how does that often work out? I mean, when you move to skilled nursing, are they kind of like, sayonara?
You know,
Won't
Diane?
be in a skilled nursing for 3 to 6 months. They'll probably have you, if you're gonna go for rehab, you'll go for, Medicare will probably pay about like the first 20 days. And then after that, there's a copay. And if you're gonna stay long-term, then you'll have a cost, a daily cost to live there. So you probably won't be there for 3 to 6 months.
So what's a typical skilled nursing stay?
It depends on what you're there for.
Right,
If you're
right.
there for like you had a knee replacement, you're probably there for a few weeks.
Okay.
So you're probably not there for long term. It's usually just
Okay.
yeah.
So it's in and out then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
'Cause like the thought
It's
of
not
giving
meant
up
to
your
be
spot
there.
and then, and then where do you go?
When my mother-in-law, her appendix almost burst, she's at Vista Del Monte. She went into, you know, I think she was out for about 2 weeks. But we just, you know, kept her place. And, yeah, she went back. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Anybody else?
Any other questions?
What's the average cost of independent living? Like 6,000 a month?
Diane?
Diane?
Yeah.
So that's, and Dana can speak to this too. There's mostly in an assisted living, there's the.
Not assisted.
Oh, independent.
Oh,
Independent.
I don't know. We don't do it.
Independent.
You mean to have someone
I
come into your
have-
home?
No. So like if you were to compare San Marcan to Valverde to, okay.
Oh, I see, right.
Like what's
right,
the
right.
average?
Starting.
13,000 a
No,
month.
that's
No,
assisted.
okay.
no.
I'm talking about independent.
No, I think that is
I have a
independent.
client at Baravia now, and he's paying, it's a
Sorry,
one-bedroom,
this is
about
my
9,000.
9,000?
Oh,
He has a one-bedroom
that's a little
apartment
bit.
with a kitchen.
It's
Oh,
Steve.
because it's got a kitchen, it's got
Yeah.
a kitchen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the smaller ones we were hearing is like 66
Yeah.
or something.
Maggie's
Yeah.
Oh,
So wait, there's
Wood
too many
Glen.
people talking.
sorry,
so-
I know, I'm not doing a very
No,
good
it's
job.
okay.
You're doing a
Figure
wonderful
out,
job.
Say what are you basing it on and?
Independent means
Yes.
that you are driving, you
Right.
just have meals,
Right.
maybe housekeeping,
We,
whatever, but there's no other services
Yeah.
for seniors.
so like Wood Glen, I think the smallest is like 48?
Yes, around 5,000 a
And then when
month.
we were asking at Marvia, I think it was like 62?
Yeah, around
something?
62,
And
6,500.
then Valverde just
So
went
just-
up.
And St. Monte Vista is
8,000?
So
Yeah.
that's roughly $200 a day.
Yeah.
Well, Wood Glen Hall is subsidized too.
So they're less.
It's a
money.
nonprofit.
It's a lot,
Wood
so they're
Glen
on the lower end,
Hall
yeah.
is the only nonprofit senior community in Santa Barbara.
I thought Summer Camp was supposed to be.
No.
I don't think so.
They're for profit? I guess all the.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and my mother-in-law is in memory care at Vista Del Monte, and it's almost $14,000 a month.
It's about 13 and up.
And well, and they were gonna raise it, and they, yeah.
So in another 20 years or so,
Yeah.
the thing is,
Save
there has
your
to be some
money.
other plan because
Yeah, of how we take care of, and we have these beautiful women here that, help people get care in their home or in their, whatever living situation, it's.
Yeah.
But like Rosa, they can go in for 4 hours a day, help cook a meal, help clean the house. They're licensed, they're a licensed company, and they're located downtown across from the police department.
And what's the average rate for home care? Is it about 30 or more? An hour?
Yeah.
45 to 50? Okay, so if it's 4 hours, that's $200 a day, just to get finances. I think there's gotta be a plan to get older overseas.
There is.
Maybe I'll get on a cruise ship.
Yeah, that's gotta be out of town.
That's $200 a day if you go somewhere, or $200 to pay for just 4 hours. So I'm looking, well, what is China doing? What is,
There is a house for sale in Goleta that was a care facility, and it has 6 bedrooms, 3 or 4 bathrooms. You can get a group of people to come together, buy it, get one person to be the caretaker, and there you go.
Nancy, you've had that idea for a while, and
Well,
they're
that's how Alexander Garden started.
Oh, really?
It was a large estate that the lady had friends that were alone, and she pulled them in, and they
I'll take care of
And
you.
it became a retirement place for teachers.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
So
Gordon?
If someone's on Medicaid, do they cover any of these at all? If you
No.
don't have that kind of money? I mean, who has that kind of money that can pay those things? I can't, that's for sure.
Well, long-term care, you guys,
well, that's long-term care, but
So-
he's just
No,
saying.
I'm talking about just if you need it, you don't have the money to pay for it.
we have a lot
How
of
do you-
people
where do
on
you go,
Medicaid.
Medicaid.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so that's the question, what's
There-
gonna happen?
If you're
available.
Medi, if you're on Medicare or Medi-Cal, it will pay for you to stay in a skilled nursing facility long-term. It'll cover the room and board if you have Medicare,
But-
Medi-Cal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But there are some senior communities that are owned by the city, is that right? The one downtown, the big yellow building?
That's the housing authority,
Is it
and that's have a
subsist-
waiting list.
And but that's a senior community,
it
right?
is.
And you can get on the waiting list for that, but it's affordable housing senior community, is that correct?
Independent living.
We're missing the middle in
I was just
the
about to
culture.
say that.
The middle
Yes.
office,
Well-
The middle is always,
There is a place in Oxnard that just opened, Netsay's been there, Lauren, you might have been there, I have to go visit it, but
Clearwater.
it's called what?
Clearwater?
Yeah, and it's a brand new facility, and it's less expensive, it's in Oxnard, it's beautiful. And, maybe we have to go to Oxnard,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have a friend, she has no funds,
Right.
and she needed rehab, they sent her to Ojai,
Yeah,
even though her home is here. Well, she doesn't really have a home per se.
right.
There are also placement agencies, senior living consultants is
Yes.
one, home choices for mom and dad, that will help you. They'll do an assessment for you, and then they'll help you find the right fit based on finances and
Yeah,
based on
but
what
like,
you're looking
like
for.
my neighbor here said, it's the middle.
Yeah.
If you have
well,
nothing, you're
when
fine.
this happened to my dad when he was 92, and he had a absolute meltdown in a psych thing, because he didn't know where to go.
Right.
And I went out there for 9 days and looked, and then finally got him into like a summer camp, and now he's doing great.
Yeah.
But he's a different generation, and I'm just thinking by the time all the 70-year-olds,
Oh, yeah.
like, what
What are we gonna do?
gonna look like?
Longboat.
Invest in the stock market.
Your avalanche has some
Hopefully it'll keep going up, right?
enticing because I've always been in the very middle of the baby boom.
Right, yeah.
I'm 70 this year, I'll be 71.
Right.
So
You
all
and
the
I.
people that are already 80
Right.
probably have their plans in place, you know. with
And we have to
families.
start thinking
And
about
like
it.
by the time, if you wait, I can see if we wait, we're
Right.
gonna be, the prices are gonna go up because
Right.
there's gonna be more demand.
Right.
And
It's just thinking, you know, it's like me thinking about it. I can do my stairs, I can do my house, but what if I fall? You know, and
Yeah.
what if something happens? I don't know.
Sure.
Have a stroke,
Yeah.
you know.
That would be hard.
So it's just getting me thinking about it. And when I do hit 75, how many 75, 80-year-olds are all going to want to go to
That's
Maravilla?
all of them. We have
Hence the avalanche, the
Yeah.
senior
And
avalanche.
so that's why we're calling it the Senior
That's a
Avalanche,
great-
because
yeah.
we
Isn't that
have to
great,
think
Nancy?
Yeah.
together.
Great
well, they
term.
call it the silver tsunami because
Yeah.
we have more, just like there's competition in our age group. I'm 75. So everything from jobs to housing has been a rat race thing.
Right.
And now this getting older thing is happening to a lot of people.
Right.
It's a
And
lot.
I'm just trying to think of a creative way that keeps people engaged and
Right.
learning. Because I find when people get to some of these facilities, they just start not having to think too much.
Right.
And they're not as creative.
Well, I don't know, this one lady
So-
that we talked about was in her own home, but she was lonely, she was by herself.
Oh, she was gonna fall and no one
She
would
was
know
gonna
it.
fall, nobody knew it, and so she's thriving. It depends on your headset.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think, for me, I like to talk.
Yeah.
If I were by myself, I'd go,
Yes, you want the social.
I need people
Yeah.
around
It's so
me.
important, the
Well, that's
social
the
aspect,
thing that I'm
yeah.
noticing, the middle, it's never, it's here, it's the black and white. Either, you
Well,
know,
I think it's back to, like
Creative.
Krista and I talk about, getting some seniors together and buying a house and helping connect the dots.
Yes,
And you hire somebody.
yes.
And it could be one of the things that helps save you, because there's a house, like I said, in Goleta, we went and looked at it, 6-bed, you could have 6 people living there, or 5 with somebody in one of the bedrooms. And that would help cover all the costs, and it'd be less expensive. And you'd be investing, maybe then you sell your portion when you move out.
We need to
Yeah.
think about that.
That's actually a
Like,
great
seriously
idea, yeah.
thinking of you like client, yeah,
Yeah.
some creative.
how
Pull-
much is
pull-
that house?
1.650. I
That's
think
cheap.
That's
well,
not
I
bad.
think it needs a little work.
Yeah, that's okay.
I would say 1.5-ish
200,000.
maybe, but
so
That's
if
funny.
you divide that by number of bedrooms.
let's say 5, because we
5.
have caretakers.
So you pool your
300.
resources,
Half a
yeah.
million per.
And I had 300.
Less, 300, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, then it's more affordable.
How does that compare to when you guys had the talks about all the different types of residential places? The 6-bed thing that's from California state. offering.
Probably similar.
But are those more of a medical need, the people that are in those?
Well, you would have somebody like Nurse Corps on hand to be available to come. I mean, you'd have to think this through.
Yeah.
You can't
Not
just,
everybody's gonna be at the same level.
Yeah.
Some
No,
are-
Right.
it's a new model.
it's, you know, you have to really think it through. It can't be willy-nilly, but at the same time, if there is an avalanche, like we know it's coming, this is one idea,
It's a great idea.
you know?
It's a great idea, but when you're a senior, you
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't
You
have
too
the
much.
Well, do you-
motivation to do
yeah,
all that.
Well, that's where you though have people coming around you, community, and help us get out of our inertia that goes on paralyzed by fear, in denial, going, ooh, what if we created a new way to create community, to really look out for each other? I mean, that is the #1 marker for people who have longevity, is dealing with the loneliness and being able to live in community. I mean,
Well,
that's right. We all know that, right?
and maybe we
For the
talk to
centenarians.
Arosa, the owner of Arosa, and say, hey, here's a new idea for Arosa, and maybe
Yeah.
he'd be interested, because he does home health care, but
Yeah.
maybe he'd go the next level.
Yeah.
Just a live-in 24
And-
hours.
But he might kind of manage it a little bit.
Yeah, that's.
You invest in it, but he kind of helps manage it. There's options. You just have to think outside the
On
box.
the street you guys live on, you know down the street, right? Mom and dad, they're my mom and dad now, by the way. My twin. They have someone just half a block down, they have like probably 6 people living in a home, and they had converted it.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we just have to think outside the box. And it's gonna happen, and that's why we're calling it the senior avalanche or the silver tsunami.
Tsunami, I like that.
I like the senior avalanche.
That
Do we have
is,
to sign up?
yes, you have to call,
We'd love to have you.
Oh, how much is it?
It's free.
Oh, and
Do you
it's
have
next
that
Tuesday?
number?
A week
Or-
from today?
Wait a minute.
And it's
Lauren's
at-
gonna look it up for me.
Is it at noon? What time
It's
are we
at 1
meeting?
o'clock,
1 o'clock.
and it's out at Westmont,
What's the full name of Westmont?
Westmont of Santa Barbara?
Westmont Senior Living.
Yeah, Westmont.
Okay, and it's out by
You get off at Winchester.
Winchester.
It's next to Elvis School.
Yeah, it's right next to
Yeah,
the
it's-
elementary school.
It's Tuesday, March 10th,
I can give you the number.
from 1 to 2:30.
Far, mom and dad.
And it's called Westmont of Santa Barbara. Peggy White is the one that is putting this together, and the phone number is 805-845-4921.
Is that the old Mariposa?
Yes, Old Mariposa. The phone number is 805-845-4921.
There is a similarity, though. You do kind of look a
And
little bit.
Rachel, Krista, and I will be talking about how to navigate this,
Yeah.
what to look forward to, maybe brainstorm ideas like we're doing today, because, it's gonna happen. And we can send this out, is everybody on our email list, right? We can send it out on our email list so that you get it.
And if you have ideas of other people who need to hear, that we should be inviting,
Yeah,
this,
it's
because we
free.
need to help people move forward. And it breaks our heart when we see people stop
here, but I have a
living
list of
less
people.
than the life that they could
Okay,
live,
I'll send that to
because
you.
they need support. They probably need to move. They need to get rid of things. They need better health care. They need to have their finances, like all of it, all of it.
I just received a phone call during this, and I called back. It was a neighbor worried about her neighbor whose stepdaughter has taken around 40 grand. I said, oh my gosh, do I have the people for you to talk to? I already, and the trust is going to be rewritten, so I sent her Ruben Lopez's info, who has spoken for us in the past. So it's really special to be able to help.
Yes.
She's like, he's got blah, blah, blah in one account, blah, blah, blah another. And I'm like, I know just the person to help you. So
beautiful.
These are people that we know and work with personally that we trust, and we know that we're passing off good people to you, not anybody that you would have to worry about. And so
That's the issue, is trust.
It's trust. That's everything.
And
That someone is truly looking out for you.
And also trusting that things will get clear, because we cannot, this country lives on insurance, that we want to try and control everything, even our death. And the thing for me is to live in faith and trust that things will get clear. You can't control every aspect. That you don't know. And I just lost a friend who for 10 months struggled with pancreatic cancer. I mean, you can't foresee all of this. It's just impossible. But
that's
to live in
why-
trust is a little, but trusting people is also really
Well, talking
key.
about it too is huge,
Yeah.
because most people don't want to talk about it.
Yes.
And if you don't talk about it, then you
Yeah,
won't
so true.
you won't move forward.
Yeah.
So.
What a fabulous
Yes,
group this has been.
yes.
Thank you.
Really good group.
Thank